Hey YouTubes, so a couple of the comments from my original video about Obama's Horses and Bayonets comment during the presidential debate had brought up the point of, well, why is this so important, or are we overanalyzing by even looking at that as a communication phenomenon? I just wanted to give one little snippet that I ran across that might show how it's somewhat important. I agree overall, it's not really important. It's just a good comeback, and I'm not, particularly saying that it makes Obama a bad choice for president or makes him a good choice for president or anything like that. I'm mostly interested in communication phenomenon, but the little snippet I wanted to point out that I thought was really interesting and kind of pertinent for, you know, why does it matter how Obama came off with that comment. I saw two documentaries on public television, and even if public television goes away, hopefully there'll be enough private support for good documentaries like these. But one was on, I think it was Churchill's first visit and FDR preparing for it to the United States, and the second was on Reagan preparing for the visit of one of the heads of state of Russia. It might have been Gorbachev. I can't remember exactly if it was a ambassador or something like that. But Reagan was, especially that one was really interesting because Reagan put so much time and effort into really specific details about that first visit, and even one of the things they pointed out was that Reagan made specific comments that that Gorbachev should come to Reagan for a handshake in a certain angle, so that Reagan's shoulders would be square and open. He would look like a regal head of state, and Gorbachev would be coming in kind of sideways with his shoulders sideways, and Gorbachev would have to reach across for a handshake while Reagan, reach across for the cameras, for the handshake, while Reagan's hand would be right there. And so it was this whole thing of how can Gorbachev look less stately and less comfortable, and Reagan look more stately, more powerful, and more comfortable. Reagan was going to be coming down the steps while Gorbachev was going to be going up them, and all these really specific details about just their interaction that it should look like Reagan was powerful and a head of state. And it got me to thinking that if those types of details are very specific on that national and international politics scale, that the heads of Iran and our allies and all these other countries are also looking that deeply into the haptics, the way that people are positioning themselves, much less the tone and the comments that a leader makes. Now, on the other hand, Obama was in a debate with his, U.S. Opponent, so making a comeback that's kind of like exaggerated and almost uh, sort of sarcastic and poking fun at Mitt. Maybe that's the time and the place for it in a debate. But on the other hand, does that show a lack of tact that might be needed for political or diplomatic situations? Does Mitt have that type of tact? If he pulls out a stat about the Navy being smaller when it's not, or But anyways, I just thought that was really interesting. The way people move, position themselves, the tone, all the things that they convey, how important that is on the international politics scale. And I just was curious what other people thought about that, and especially pertaining to the horses and bayonets comment in the debate.